Hi, I'm Mike Butler.
And I'm Mike Field. And I'm gonna you up.
He's quoting Nobody. That's from the movie Nobody.
Yeah, sure I am. All right, welcome back to another episode of Now Renting with Forgotten Cinema. We are talking about the movie Nobody, starring Bob Odenkirk. Mike, as you know, we like to do our three things each that we think people should rent this movie on row 8. What's your number one?
Bob Odenkirk.
Hey!
Obviously, Bob Odenkirk is great. He's known as a comedy writer. He's written SNL, The Simpsons, a personal favorite of mine. But in this movie, he's a straight up action star. Obviously, he's a different kind of action star. He's not quite John Wick.
My Bob Odenkirk is my number one as well. I would say also he's also in Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. So it's not just comedy. As you have.
Well, it's more like a dramatic kind of like a black comedy.
I got you. I think the fact that he's an everyday man, like somebody who he's supposed to mirror maybe us or people that live a suburban lifestyle that maybe are frustrated about things. Also, I love how you talk about these type of films that are popular now, like the John Wick style. These are vengeance films, and these films were popular in the 70s with the Death Wish series. But yes, no, Bob Odenkirk does a really good job as portraying this man, even though he's not technically an everyman kind of guy. He is, somebody.
He's an auditor.
Right. He obviously has a history. Mike, what's your number two?
Well, my number two would be the fighting. This kind of new form of like fighting and kind of sticking to the action. It's like every time you see him get beat up or hit another guy, it's like, both for what he's giving and taking. And I think it's kind of a refreshing, interesting take on the fight scenes where every punch kind of matters and it's not so stylized. It's kind of rough and tumble. And I think that's really great.
Love the energy with those sound effects. My number two is the actual bus scene in and of itself. The scene when, as I quoted before, as the top of the show, he just lets loose on these 5 guys, 5, 6.
I think it's 5
guys.
And
he just he takes a pounding, but he gives a pounding. So I think that was something that that scene, you're just like, yes, let's go. And I think that scene's really well done. There's a lot of great action in that scene. There's a lot of moments, as Mike said, you're going, ooh, like that, especially when he breaks that guy's arm. Oof, that's bad. But I really like that scene. Mike, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Christopher Lloyd. Doc Brown's back. It's just great to see Christopher Lloyd back in a role, and he's clearly having fun with it. It's just a fun role. I love me some Doc Brown, so I just thought it was great seeing him in the film again. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is the story. I know it's obviously going to be compared with John Wick, which obviously, it should be. I think there's another story within, I want to see a sequel.
Oh yeah. The backstory of Nobody is really, really interesting.
I mean, I want to see, what happens with this character. I like the character that Odenkirk plays. I actually want to see more with the family. So I enjoyed just the world they set up. So I'm interested to see if they do another one. I kind of hope they do. And so my reason for making that number 3 is you should see this movie just when they do have more movies than you've seen the original. You know what I'm saying? Nobody
again. More Nobodies? I don't know.
So you're obviously on row 8 right now. So click that rent/buy button and rent this movie or buy it and enjoy it at your leisure. You can find row 8 obviously on the Roku store and everywhere else where I guess apps are streaming.
Row8.com.
Who are we, Butler?
We are Forgotten Cinema, a podcast about forgotten films that seem to be forgotten by audiences, whether it be because a more popular movie was released at the same time or the film simply didn't catch on with audiences in its initial run. We discuss what we love about the movie, maybe don't love about it, but we always recommend you revisit it. You never know. You might find your own forgotten gem. You can find us at Forgotten Cinema Podcast or wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, whatever. We're there. Find us.
And thanks for checking out the show. I am Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
This has been Now Renting with Forgotten Cinema, brought to you by Row 8. So now if you don't excuse me, I'm going to go ride some buses, pick a fight.
All right.